Chapter 22, Dark Spirit. In hot pursuit, Yugi and friends make their way through the maze of circuitry and infiltrate the central unit. This is the control unit of the fantasy world created by the computer, where Scott is hiding. The countdown to the final battle has started. Red 2 standing by, all four lit and in the green. Welcome back to YuGiOh the Falsebound Kingdom, and we have to take in Shimon for this particular battle. Bad luck Bakura, you're not probably bad luck Esperoba? But then again, I probably want a little more oomph in some of Roba's monsters. Now I need to edit Yugi's team so that I can give... Well, I can probably take that off. And scroll all the... Oh, that's right, I didn't give him Raigeki because he hasn't learned level 5 magic. That would have something to do with it. Well done. Anyway, we pretty much have our teams well set as is. And we'll be ready for the final battle pretty shortly. Now, there are a few tricks we can use to our advantage. Given the powerful opponents we will have to face, I'm not sure who I should get to face Scott themselves, because there's a bit of a secret to that. I'll maybe have Shimon face him, but we'll save the game and we will be ready to go. We're pretty well set, no more preparations are needed, let's go. So we have to free the central processing unit. But we need to work around it. We need to move very carefully around it and face the enemies here. We have some very strong foes. Oh my god, we have 3 Karibos and 3 basic insects. We don't want to get too close to the central processing unit because, as I may have mentioned, that will wind up triggering the battle with Scott, and we don't want to trigger the battle with Scott just yet. Esperoba should move forward first, very carefully. I need to examine our teams. They are reasonably strong. They shouldn't be too much of a problem. Nor should the basic insects. There'll be a slight problem at higher difficulties. I'll probably just have my rub Scott out. That could be taken quite catastrophically. Don't quote me on that. So, who should take out the Karibos? Taya? I mean, Taya's the obvious choice. So let's move Taya up there. Actually, I might have Shimon take Scott on. Mostly because we can take advantage of the fact that Scott has Skull Knight. Now, there's a bit of a secret to Scott's team that I'm not going to reveal to you just yet, because I like being mysterious. But if we wind up weakening, if we wind up taking out all these enemies that appear at the start of the level, we can actually weaken a certain final battle, because this isn't it. Fighting Scott here isn't the last battle. There is still one more battle to come after this. And that will wind up giving us a monster that I will show a little later on, when we've actually encountered it. You didn't think there was going to be some... you didn't think we were going to miss out on some sort of giant showdown, did you? Roba down to Southbridge S2. So none of Mako's monsters are particularly powerful. But I want to position I want to move Joey up to take the enemies at the top. And then have Yugi on hand after Shimon completes the boss battle. Mostly just a little bit of strategizing for this one. Also, it is really, really, really annoying actually trying to navigate through this area because the pathfinding is awful. Your units will get stuck on walls so easily, and they'll keep acting as if the walls aren't there. So they'll often keep trying to walk through them, which can be incredibly bothersome, to put it lightly. Right. Don't... You see what I mean? Flame Swordsman is stuck trying to walk through the damn walls. Okay, we should be up. We are up for the battle. Let's deal with some basic insects. I mean, they're... probably unsurprisingly a little faster. I mean, they are irritations. But all those little irritations add up if we don't confuse them. Oh, and a critical. Nice pick. Alrighty. I'll be able to... I'll put that one out of commission. Or at least its special attack. And then let's nobble the one on the end. That should hopefully see it dead. Yeah, phew. Alright, I don't need to focus too much fire on that because it's used up its special attacks. Target the other basic insect. I mean, it's a bit of a nuisance, but... Alright, so I'd better heal because... Yeah, like I said, they're nuisances. But the fact that they've all got those special attacks, that chip damage adds up. Never underestimate how useful some of those chip damage spells or special attacks can be. Because in all fairness, once like that, you're still attacking all enemies. You're essentially... You basically use 2 action points to attack 3 enemies, which is not a bad deal. That missed, that is a bad deal. That did not miss, that's good. There we are. This should be over quickly. And there we are. So that has taken one of the terminals and weakened our upcoming opponent a bit. Labyrinth Tank has some extra experience and an extra AP, which is always good. You want as many AP as you can for that thing and it will get a fair few. So back over here. We move very carefully around the center of the map. Which looks a little unusual. Okay, so Flame Swordsman is still trying to walk through walls. Dark Magician. Just sit over here for the time being, Dark Magician. The pathfinding really is atrocious. Get off the wall! Alright, so we don't have to worry about getting too close. But yeah, there's only this one last monster to find. I mean, you probably know what it is, in all fairness. You've actually got an opportunity to annoy us, and you do that. Now, their special can miss because it's essentially counted one of them. I mean, now in all fairness, I probably could have just started killing them in one shot, but... I probably will wind up killing them in one shot. Kaiba has absolutely awful health. Down in one. But if played correctly with a couple of multiply, it can actually be pretty useful. That one has just waited. Oh, the only one that couldn't kill it in one go. Ah, well. Now, I probably could have decided not to waste my time using Screen Mist. But that's okay. That's done pretty easily. We get jack all in the way of experience. Or maybe not. We do get another level up for Gaikatana Megami. That's very nice. So, 2/3 of the way there. South Bridge, S1 liberated. We have stopped the system's South Bridge. But once Flame Swordsman has stumbled into more walls than a drunk guy at a party... Joey, go north. Go north, young Joey. Now, I'll have to position Shimon. Fortunately, I can just send him straight up. I could send Mayan to defeat him, but that would be kind of cheating. Shimon didn't get defied last time. Fistus isn't going to be very helpful. Now, it's worth noting that if you confuse one enemy, just one, then they won't be able to fuse. That is an important tactic. Which is why I've sent Joey up here, because he can shut down polymerization. The Magnet Warriors are pretty solid in terms of stats, but they do not have very good HP, so I saw those stats. They had 5 AP there, but yeah, only 4 in the castle. So it is interesting that the stats of the monster will change depending on where you view them. That's actually pretty cool. Like, the game will calculate stuff like that in real time. That's pretty nifty in all fairness. Let's get going on cutting them down. Let's move. We can sort of have the Jumbotron going on in the background there. Very nice shot in real time. And that is confused. Jeez Louise. Black Metal Dragon puts in work. And there we are. Fusion averted. Nice shot. Jeez Louise. I mean, I knew Black Metal Dragon was going to be... Good lord, it's... Black Metal Dragon has just dodged both attacks thrown at it. It has just decided not to take prisoners this battle. And, oh, Flame Swordsman letting the side, and Gamma just gets 2 turns in a row because... Oh, well, Black Metal Dragon actually deigns to be hit to give its enemies false hope. That is mean. That is absolutely mean, and I am all here for it. You will not regret using that Metal Morph. Seriously. So after a while... Now let's see, I don't think they've got it yet. Oh no, wait. So all their attacks will do extra damage to machine monsters. Not that it does a huge amount, because they don't necessarily get criticals out of it. On the other hand, Robotic Knight has decided it's not taking any crap. And is just going to wind up getting a critical itself. No, I read the wrong one. It's Flame Swordsman who's got Castle Adept. And Gamma gets one final screw you before it goes down. For doing a lot to machine monsters, you're not doing a great amount there, buddy. And there we are. So we have now weakened our final adversary. And Joey gets more attack power. Because basically charging ahead and attacking is one of Joey's best strategies. If you can call it a strategy. So, System North Bridge halted. Shimon, charge on ahead. At the right point, I will send Yugi in to join you. Oh no, wait, it is only if you hit that bit. I must say, I admire your persistence. I never expected anyone to make it this far.
Scott, your plans have failed. Now stop the simulator and set us free. It's too late. It doesn't matter what you do now. There's no way to stop the Dark Spirit now. Dark Spirit? You heard me. I built this computer to summon the ancient powers of darkness. And the Spirit will be here any minute now. It will devour your strong duelist souls and take over the entire world. You were all chosen by me to be tributes to the darkness. Ha 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 ha! You should feel honored! What a bunch of lies! There's no such thing as the Dark Spirit! I'm afraid you've no idea just how ingenious my new dual discs are! This is not just some game or simulator, it's a trap! A chain to bind my tribute to the Dark Spirit! This machine is linked to your souls and controls all your senses. The Dark Spirit will come from the darkness found within the human heart. He's gone nuts! I can hear it now! A power like any other! It's coming! It's coming! It's time for you to give me your souls! It only hurts in the beginning. After that, you'll be at peace. We've got to stop him! Quickly!
I don't know why Shimon's there, because he hasn't said anything yet. But Scott has gone well and truly crazier. Let's start by tearing down that spellcaster of his. With a bit of a violet crystal flare. Because Serpent Night Dragon at the moment isn't Night Adept. Despite it having it in its name. It's only Wasteland Adept. We should be able to tear through his team pretty easily because two of my monsters are dishing out criticals. You know what? We'll just power up the team even more. Bit more oomph. Chooses to guard, Reaper Blast. So, it is indeed true that Skull Knight is a spellcaster. Its fusion materials are fiends. But it is a spellcaster. For some reason. Oof, good damage. And we'll see how this goes. Take down the one that is open. Good damage. I mean, we are 2,000 attack up. That's good, that's good. Guarding again, I don't think it's going to help it. You do have to question the AI's choices, because it's essentially like a double battle situation. It's like Wobbuffet in double battles. Wobbuffet sucks in double battles, because you basically wind up controlling what it does. It just sits there because you wail on its partner and then you can tag team Wobbuffet. You just wail on all its partners and Wobbuffet doesn't really get to do anything. Because it can force its opponent's hand, it can be pretty devastating in singles, as we all know. But it won't get to do a thing in doubles. Alright, we'll wind up defeating this madman pretty quickly. Wow, another critical. And there goes the battle. And we get some okay experience out of it. And Shimon levels up. His stats probably aren't that great either, in all fairness.
There's nothing you can do to stop it now. The Dark Spirit is almost here. All I wanted to do was offer you as tribute painlessly. The darkness knows no mercy. It will devour your souls ruthlessly. Not even I can guess how painful that will be. You will live just long enough to regret the fact that you were not defeated by me. Scott! What a waste. I hate to lose such a convenient pawn. Even if he was more than a little crazy. He was a lot crazy, let's be honest. I could have used him for something else. The punishment for interfering with a minion of the darkness is harsh indeed. It quite often involves being stabbed by my beard. I mean, look at this. You could use that as a dagger if you put a bit of metal on the end of it. It's pretty impressive, you know. It did take me a long time to wind up manicuring this to absolute perfection. Who are you? Does it matter? What good does it do the cow to know the name of the butcher? It's still going to end up as steak. This place is actually quite nice. It'll make a nice stepping stone to the outside world. All I need to do now is wait to finish materializing. I might as well eat you while I wait. Let's see. Which minion should I summon forth? Obelisk the Tormentor! I summon thee! What? And now we have a battle against Obelisk. No real surprise that this was going to be one of our adversaries. I mean, it's kind of on the box art and on the title screen. So, I think Shimon gets pushed back a bit. We'll send Yugi in, and we'll have a bit of a profile on Obelisk the Tormentor, pausing the battle about now. So, that's the info on Obelisk. We will be able to weaken our adversary if we wind up taking out those memory bridges. Obelisk is still pretty strong. It can attack with its special technique and, of course, just use its normal attacks. But we do get to drain its power a little bit. We do get a very fancy battlefield. We'll want to do a lot of damage and fast. But it is worth noting, Obelisk is still susceptible to status conditions. Now, we will wind up facing Slifer in Kaiba's story. Basically, what happens is, you will wind up getting your rival's Egyptian god ready to go for their story. So that basically means I probably shouldn't have paralyzed it because I'm not entirely confident in my ability to kill it. I should do alright. But basically, Kaiba can unleash Obelisk upon his enemies in the next playthrough. And you know what, I'm probably going to do that because, let's be honest, it would be a Seto Kaiba thing to do. There is absolutely no point using so I've got
9 attacks left. I'm going to wait for a bit. I shouldn't have paralyzed it. Early on, you probably... I believe that's what they call hubris. Well, that sucks. That sucks. I don't know why I thought it was a good idea to taunt the gods. That was dumb. I probably should have just let it attack me. That is not the wisest thing I've ever done. I might actually need someone else in to help me out on this one. Oh yeah, Obelisk can guard. Alright, so with that having gone horrifically wrong, the plan was to use Yugi to win the day. But, okay, I'm gonna have to book it. First time through, you are probably going to have to send a few people in to try and kill this guy. Obelisk the Tormentor made its international debut as a Shonen Jump promo, but it has appeared many times since in various special sets. In Japan, it also debuted as a Jump promo, reappearing in similar fashion to the TCG. As you might expect, Obelisk is a force to be reckoned with. In the card game, it's immune to targeting effects and has very powerful stats, along with the ability to wipe out opposing monsters. Used well, it's an absolute juggernaut, even if it is a little tricky to get out. Only those who possess the Master of the Egyptian Gods ability in this game can hope to summon Obelisk's might, so you're really limited to only 3 characters in the entire game who can use this. Unsurprisingly, they actually are users of the Egyptian gods in the anime. If you start with Yugi's story, as we've seen here, this monster will be ready for Kaiba to unleash upon his enemies, and it's very satisfying to do so. Alright, take 2. The idiot shouldn't have taunted the gods. This is a really, really good lesson because I frequently wind up taunting the gods on Mario Party and it backfires. Admittedly, just playing Mario Party taunts the gods, so... Now let's just try and chip this down the sensible way. No paralysis because... Okay, confusion works. Poison might work, except poison's usually a really crap status condition. So, let's see what happens. It waits... Look, if you do wind up liberating things, it's fairly easy. Obelisk is still an intimidating foe, though, so you want to be particularly careful. Slifer is just as intimidating when you face it in Kaiba's story. I think it can actually drain its opponent's special attack, its opponent's attack stats as well. Okay, so we've had the Slap of Doom dealing a lot of damage. But because we got Gift of the Mystical Elf, we can heal pretty well. let's gradually chip this down and finish it off. So, Dark Knight, the adversary we're facing, is a major opponent at the end of Forbidden Memories. And on top of that, I believe shows up in Duelists of the Roses with a sort of odd Welsh name that I... Wow. This sucks. And there we go. Dark Magician Girl unfortunately got slapped into oblivion, but we have killed a god. Yugi got a level up. And there we are. That is the end of Yugi's story. Dark Knight, as I said, does appear in some of those old games as a major adversary. Usually final boss type pops up now and then, but an original creation that would gradually be phased out of the games around this point. We'll find out a bit more later on.
Oh! Ow, my pointy beard! Oh, ow, I stabbed myself on my beard. We did it!
What's happening?
The whole place is starting to fall apart.
And there we are. We have acquired our final items. The Soul of Obelisk, which will let us summon Obelisk the Tormentor. Yugi! Wake up! Snap out of it! Huh? Yugi, good, you're finally awake! Hurry up, the fire's getting close! Fire? What fire? There were flames coming out of that big machine connected to the dual discs when we woke up! Looks like there was some kind of trouble. Anyway, we gotta get out of here, now! Right! The fire in the SIC labs burned fiercely through the night until flames engulfed the entire complex. The fire blazed into the morning, destroying the entire lab, but Yugi and company escaped relatively unharmed. What do they mean by relatively? Did they lose Bakura? I don't know. Anyway, various news media reported that an accident in one of the labs had started the fire at SIC Labs. The real truth was buried forever in darkness. Several ellipses. Scott Irvine, the architect of this insidious incident, had disappeared after he left Kaiba Corporation, and no one even knew if he was alive or not. After the fire, SIC closed its doors and went out of business. There was no trace of Scott. What pushed Scott Irvine over the edge and made him embrace madness? No one knows the answer to that question. However, his final words before he disappeared from Kaiba Corporation might hold a clue. It is inevitable that those who realize the existence of the gods wish eventually to control them. And now we can save and go through the credits. So, our cast. Yugi, as himself. Kaiba, also as himself. Joey, as himself. Taya, Tristan and Bakura, as themselves. Mako, Mai and Esperoba, as themselves. Mokuba, as a hostage. Weevil Underwood, Rex Raptor and Bones, as so not appearing in this film. Marek Ishtar, Shizu Ishtar and Heishin Sigvarths, Scott Irvine, our bad guy. And basically our credits, Kazuki Takahashi, the artist behind it all. Planning, game design, script, Truth. That sounds like an old Melbourne... There was an old Melbourne newspaper called The Truth. It was kind of proud of the fact that it was a bit of a rag along the way. I think the famous footballer Jack Dyer had a column in that called Dyer Ear. Yeah, the pun was pretty terrible. Anyway, we go through everything and we have made it through the first story. Kaiba's story arc is up next. And we will get to see everything from his perspective, the story he goes through, the role he plays, and the battles he undertakes. So it will wind up being pretty similar in some ways, and it will wind up being pretty different in other ways. But either way, we've got plenty of strong monsters to work with, some pretty good teams to set up, and we can just start styling on our opponents. Konami. The days before they went absolutely crazy. So, let's leave things here for now, and when we come back, we will be taking on Kaiba's story. Thank you very much for joining me. Until next time, this is Red 2, returning to base.